Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Jack Hermansson up against Roman Dolidze this weekend. Great to see you, Jack. How's it going?
Thank you very much. Good to see you. All good here.
It's a dangerous opponent for you. He's got some really impressive finishes in his last couple of fights on a 3-fight winning streak. So, what do you relish about facing him? Do you relish facing killers like this? It's nothing but killers in the UFC. How big of a test do you see him as?
No, I think he's a solid opponent, and at this level, everybody is good. But I do believe that I'm better and that I will get the win.
How familiar are you with his skill set? Did you watch his past couple of fights, and were you impressed by these two finishes in his last two outings?
Yeah, I watched his fights, and his skill set are okay, but for most, I think he's very powerful, and that's his main attribute, and that's why he's dangerous because he's very powerful, and especially in that first round. So you have to be aware of that, So
How important was your last victory over Chris Curtis, a tough opponent? Was that important to you?
yeah, it was very important. Like this fight, it was a last minute replacement. I was supposed to fight Darren Till, and then I got Chris Curtis on short notice. Now I was supposed to fight Derek Brunson, and now I got Roman Dolidze on short notice. So it's extremely important to win those fights, especially when they are so risky as they are. But if I wouldn't have taken on Chris Curtis, and if I wouldn't have taken on Roman, suddenly you stand there and you don't have a fight for a year. So it's very important that you use these opportunities and take the fights that you get and stay active.
Do you think you're getting love internally from the UFC for your attitude, for your gameness to fight anybody?
I hope so. I hope so. I hope we can play to my advantage at some point. I understand that it's not their fault. It's not out of their control, and they try to fix the situation as good as they can. But yeah, so sometimes this happen. In this sport. There's a chance that people get injuries, and yeah, you just need to adapt.
Was there any reluctance on your part to go from a guy who's ranked 5 in the division to a guy who's not ranked?
I tried to get I asked for a couple of other guys, but there were no one available. So of course, I tried to get a ranked opponent at first, but when there were no ranked opponents available, so I could either travel home again and without a fight, or take whatever is available, and I choose the later. I want to stay active, and I want to work.
Do you see this as a risk for you?
Yeah, it's a risk. If I lose to a guy like Bronson that's highly ranked, then you will probably still have your position in the rankings. But if I lose to Roman, I'm not sure where that puts me. So it's definitely a risk.
What do you feel? What's the first emotion that comes into your head when you hear the name Darren Till? Now, you pissed off with him? Has he let you down multiple times now?
Yeah, he has, and he, I'm sure it's not with purpose, but he, I will think twice before I accept a fight with him again. I feel like there's a big that he gets an injury, and yeah, so, some people are better than others to stay injury free. Myself, I have never withdrawn from a fight, and I have more fights than he has.
I feel like your only
Not
losses.
now when that's
What were you
yeah.
going to say, mate?
Now when that's said, obviously, of course, I could also get injured. No, it might happen sometimes, but so far, it hasn't happened. When I've 30 professional fights. So
Your only losses in recent years have come against the top guys in the division: Cannonier, Vittori, Strickland, guys above you in the rankings. Which one of those would you most like to get back?
so all of them. I really believe that I can beat those guys, and It doesn't matter, but I would love to get a chance against anybody of them. Yeah, it doesn't matter who actually.
How intrigued are you by Khamzat Chimaev as a challenge? You felt his strength, his power. How big of a monster is he, do you think? Are you destined to see him one day in the octagon, do you think?
Yeah, he's good, and he's one of those huge names, and that's for a reason. He has really performed well inside of the UFC, mm, yeah, I think that we might fight one day. He's good, I'm good, and that puts us close to each other. Yeah, it's a big chance that we'll fight someday.
Does the competitor in you get excited by the prospect of having someone else hold the belt now? Because, when I talk to Luke Rockhold, he's retired, but when he hears that Pereira's the champion, he says, I could beat that guy easily in comparison with Izzy. Do you feel similarly as a guy who's an incredible grappler? Do you think your skill set matches up very well with the champion in a way?
Yeah, he's an easier fight than easy for everybody that wants to fight to the ground. And that's because Izzy is extremely skilled with his distance and with his footwork. So I feel that the Pereira is as dangerous in the stand-up as Izzy, but I do believe that it is way harder to get to the ground, and he's also more skilled there than Pereira. So yeah, I would say that Pereira is an easier fight.
What do you think the most likely outcome is for you on the weekend?
The most likely outcome, I think I will get the job done pretty quickly. So yeah, the most likely outcome is probably a first round. Mm, First round TKO by ground and pound or something. Yeah, that's probably the most likely outcome.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with that one. That would be a fantastic result. We're going to finish off with a little quick fire about some of your UFC colleagues, if that's okay with you. So, who's the hardest hitter in the UFC?
Francis Ngannou.
90% of people say that, and I think it's pretty correct, to be
Yeah.
honest. Who has the highest fight IQ?
I will say I would have said Henry Cejudo if he was still active, because he's extremely good. But maybe Volkanovski.
Who's the funniest?
There's a lot of funny guys actually, but Derek Lewis is very funny. So let's go with him.
Who's the most annoying?
Oh man, I don't like to bash down on people. Most annoying. Who can that be? Oh man, I don't know. Let's see here. That was a hard one, man. I'm not easily annoyed. Well, I'm gonna give that one. And I can't get it, man. I'm really digging in here in my head.
Let's
Let's
pass
see. Yeah,
that one. I'll come back. So,
yeah, we go with Paulo Costa.
why do you say Paulo Costa?
Why?
Yeah.
No, because of the excuses. Bad excuses.
I thought you were going to say Darren Till for canceling on you, but who's the hottest?
hottest, best looking. Well, I'm so bad with the name of the female fighters, and that's gonna get me canceled now. So, uh, and the female fighters that are coming up in my head, it's not the ones that I feel are the hottest, but you have to come back on that one.
That's so funny, man. Okay, who is the most interesting character in the UFC?
Oh, that's definitely Thug Nasty. What is his name?
Bryce Mitchell.
Bryce Mitchell. Yeah,
Who
it's
is the
interesting.
who's the coolest female fighter?
The coolest female fighter. It has to be, Doug Rose, and also my girl Panikian said.
Who would you most like to have dinner with?
That I think maybe um, Olynyk, Alexei Olynyk.
Who would you most like by your side in a street fight?
Oh, that one of the big guys, man. Let's give me Francis.
And who has the best striking?
Striking. The thing is that I would say Issy, but he just got beaten by Pereira, so Pereira maybe.
Who has the coolest style?
Fighting style or
Let's go with best dress first.
best dressed? Coolest. We have to take. I would say the coolest style still Bryce Mitchell again. I'm a Bryce Mitchell fan. I like that farmer style.
That's a cool answer. And who is the coolest fighter in terms of their style? Who's the funnest fighter to watch?
The lighter guys, Piotr Jan is really cool to watch. Uh, I really like him, and yeah, I'll go with him.
Who's got the best tattoos?
Let's see here. I don't know, man. I can't remember what people are having. I will say Sean O'Malley. I can't even remember what he has, but he has some Connorish, something similar, I think.
Okay, who is the best looking fighter in the UFC?
Best looking fighter. Uh, let's see. Is there a pretty boy or pretty girl out there? Oh man, everybody's ugly.
Okay, we'll let you slide on that one. It's not supposed to be this tough on you. Okay, the last question. The last question. Dream fight. Any weight class, past or present?
Yeah, it has to be GSP versus Khabib.
Dream fight for you, though. Any weight class, past or present?
Nah, always the title, man. The title. Yeah, I want the title. So whoever has it now, the dream fight is Pereira.
Respect, we got there. Thank you for answering my quickfire questions. The Joker. Jack, I
Of course,
appreciate it. Good luck. It's a
of course,
pleasure, man. Nice one. 3:20 in the morning here in Qatar. It was worth it. Great to
Oh,
catch up with you, bro.